Hey, the art. What's been going on? Okay. What are you working at now? Oh, okay. Yeah, finished school. When you say you were going to school for were you going to school for nursing or healthcare or something like that? Oh, you're going back for RN. Oh, that's good. You know what? I was actually thinking about going back to school myself, but I'm not going for another degree. Okay, that's great. I was thinking about going back to school for cybersecurity, something more in the IT at Gwinnett Technical College, which is here in Georgia. And yeah, I have a master's degree already, and I don't want to go back for business or accounting because, I already took all those advanced classes in accounting and even though I really haven't been looking for a job in that field, I think I need something a little bit more. I need something more lucrative in terms of a career. And then when I was looking at it yesterday over the weekend, you could go for a certificate and you gain a hands-on experience. And then Gwinnett Technical College actually had a 99.99% placement rating for graduates. And it's going to be about, I want to say it's right under a year, maybe a year and a half, something like that. And I know it's not a long time. So, hey, who else is on here? Oh, for a certificate. Yeah, they even had nursing programs at this school, at Gwinnett Technical College. And then going to a technical school or technical college, you gain way more hands-on experience and more opportunities for career counselors. And I just, I'm going to apply. It's going to, the application deadline is in July. So I'm going to apply because I can't believe it's been 3 years since I had, it's been 3 years since I've been out of the service center, IRS. And these last 3 years, like I said, it's been quite a challenge, you know. So I'm going to explore that. Man, that Google, let me tell you, that was a BS because you learn concepts. Yeah, I learned concepts and stuff, but you really didn't, gain that actual experience, hand-on experience in fiber optic network. And and they just didn't seem they did the people who was doing it, they didn't seem to take it serious. They were kind of like, a little bit snotty-ish and snotty because I knew the black folks, that's what kills me was that not all of them, but they already had the job working at Google and and they were just going through the motions. They weren't really trying to um, help you get into a job working for a company like that. And then just like you have to really go to one of those trade unions or um, one of those work for one of those companies where they will give you that hands-on experience. So they said they help you with your resume and things like that, but I just think it was just a tax credit for Google just to try to offer some free course. Um, it was just a way for them to make. It was just a way for them to get a tax credit. That's all that was. I'm not saying that it wasn't good, but going to Udacity um, and being a technician to install cable and stuff, that was very, 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 very entry level. And to get to try to work for those companies like AT&T and T and Comcast, those were independent contractors. Hey, Sal. Hey, C Cell. So that's what it was for. So it was like when I was trying to apply to different companies to work as a cable installer, they wanted you to have. I'm doing well. They wanted you to have like so many years experience. Not years experience, but so much years experience and stuff. So that's what happened with that with Google Fiber. And my resume, it was just, it was no way of me compacting that experience. Like it was so long. For so long, I heard people was like, "Oh, you work for the IRS? You've been here. Ooh, you've been here a long time." It was like I couldn't get that stigma of working there. And then, as I was working at other companies, you know, that damn Wipro and that scam ass T Tech, and I started working at other companies. It wasn't. I don't know. I just felt that I was just going against these customer service jobs that wanted to pay 11, $12 an hour. They weren't paying anything. And then, when I go to the interview, I'm interviewing someone in front of me. They like almost half my age, millennials and they were just, it was just too much. They wanted to pay, they just wanted to look for someone who had literally, when they say we want someone with 1 to 2 years experience in customer service, they probably mean 1 to 2 years experience, not 10, 20 years experience in customer service. So I had a friend redo my resume, which was a whole lot better than when I wrote it. And I'm just going to have to tailor my resume as I apply to different jobs and take off the master's degree, take off the MBA degree, probably take off the college degree, just put high school, just to see. I don't know. And be real entry level. So I just finished taking the test for State Farm for claims. It's a part-time position, claims adjuster. No, it was customer service. So it was like claims for the third time. I took this assessment test 3 years ago, so I just finished taking that test. So I'm not gonna hold my breath with State Farm. How many times? How many times I'm gonna keep applying for the job every year? And every year you'll need 300 people because everybody can't pass the insurance portion of the test. So I'll see what happens, but I'm not gonna at this point I'm not gonna hold my breath with a lot of these companies. But that's not what I came to talk about. So I got enough people in the room. Hey Shell, hey Top Speed Reviews. I never seen your name before. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I need 1,000 subscribers so I could be on live stream. Right now I'm doing live stream on my laptop. Tell me if y'all can hear me this time, because the last time I was on live stream, I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Today was a trying day today because I don't know what it was. Everybody wanted to act a fool today. I even have a video on one of the incidents that happened when I was doing one of my convenience stores. Somebody walked into the bathroom, and then it almost broke out into a damn fight. But I got it on let me see. That's another video I'm going to talk about. Let me see. I'm gonna play it real quick on my phone, and then I'm gonna figure out how to put it on here. But it was funny. Look at this, y'all. Wait a minute. Hey, I'm from the Bronx. That's that shit that's out here right now. Out in New York, baby. Hey, Tina Marie. So let me tell you what happened briefly, then I'll go and talk about my topic. So I went to the first store up on the hood. All the stores I go to is in the hood. And someone, one little raggedy convenience store, somebody was in the bathroom. So they walked in there. I guess they didn't lock the door. And someone says, "Hey, nigga, you saw her in the bathroom in there, right?" But but let me tell you, there's a catch to this story. So the person come out the bathroom, you know, people rather than people saying, "Oh, my bad, I'm sorry." The other person was trying to be all I guess big and bad, and they was like, um, "Nigga, I said sorry," and then they were going back and forth, right? They said, "Why don't you be a man about it?" Da-da-da-da. And then they said, "See, I don't give a fuck about Black Lives Matter and this and that." This is in the store. So, but the thing was, the person who came out the bathroom, she looked like a dude. She really did. I mean, dressed like a dude, looked like a dude, flat chested, nothing. She was talking shit. So the other person was like, "These dumb country niggas, they can't, I don't care about that, Then they went out. Then it escalated where they were leaving. Said, "Mother, you glad I ain't got my piece on me? I would have blown you up." I said, "Oh, let me hurry up. It's time for me to go. Time for me to get out this damn store." So, so I go outside, and the thing escalated outside. And next thing you know, the other person who was with the first person who was in the bathroom, she trying to approach the other guy. She was a woman. No, that was it. She was a woman. At least she trying to approach the guy. And next thing you know, all these dang hood rats came out of nowhere. I mean, they all be hanging out the store. They all hanging out in front of the store. Every day they do that, hanging out the store. So nothing materialized, nothing happened. I popped out my phone. "You gonna take out your phone like that?" I said, "Hell yeah." Shoot, I'm gonna put this on YouTube. So they ain't know nothing about that, And so I said, "Oh well." I said chapter 2. So in a couple, every 5 weeks I have to go to these stores. And most of the stores I go to is in these ghetto-fied, hood rat, rundown gas stations. That's my territory. I live in Stone Mountain, but not the worst rundown part of Stone Mountain. So I said, so I got that on. I got that little snippet on my video that I made, and then I go to the second store down the street, up the street. This time I go in there. I always say I'm here to do your candies. Who's your distributor? There come this one young Indian guy. He was telling me something, but they can't speak hardly any English. He talking about something. I said, "What? I don't understand what you're saying. You don't speak English." I said, "I speak English very well. Thank you very much." So I said, "Write it down what you're saying, because I don't know what you're saying." He was trying to say Georgia something company. Nothing in his mouth sounded like Georgia. But he gonna tell me, do I speak English? So you know me. So I said, okay. Then he kind of say, so I went there to look at the check the little candies or whatever. And then he's like, come here, talking to me, like, come here. I said, first of all, I don't know who you think you're talking to, but I'm not one of these women you could talk to in India. And two, you need to get that bass out of your voice. So you need to get that bass out of your voice, first of all. And second of all, you're not going to tell, he said, come here. Like I'm some dog. Boy, I said, you know what? I said, you know what, motherfucker? I get paid regardless. First of all, the convenience store had this one gas pump that was rusted. Looked like it was an abandoned building, first of all. Two, I wouldn't get a damn napkin out of this damn nasty ass place for nothing. So I took my pictures, right? Put my little non-viable store, no distributor, take the pictures so I could move on. And then he come yapping his mouth. I said, I don't know who the hell you think you're talking to. He said, come here. And then I come there every 5 weeks. The older Indian guy, I always see him speak to him. So I know he must have told him something or spoke to him, but total disrespect. Total disrespect. And I said, what the hell's wrong with people today? What's wrong with these dumb niggas today? So I left, going about my other stores that I went to. The last store that I went to, here it goes something again, 3 times. 3 times. All this happened today. I go to the last place. Now, this time I should have mind my business. I'm in there all the way on Boulder Crest, all up in this is beyond hood in the part of Decatur. All these bums and people just keep coming begging for stuff all the time and want to scam and all kind of crazy stuff. So I go to the third place. Now, it shouldn't mind my business. I'm sitting here checking the candies. Everybody going there buying their little scratch-off lottery tickets and whatever else they be doing. This one lady, she was at the pump and she said she couldn't get the gas. I gave you $20. Ain't nothing coming out of the pump. I need to get a 93, which is like the high octane gas, right? There's like regular, medium, and then the highest, right? So she said, I ain't getting no money for gas. I paid $20. I need to put high octane. So obviously they didn't even have no more that high octane gas. She had a Hyundai Sonata, 2000 whatever. It wasn't no, up in the art. So I was like, I'm listening. And I was like, why is she putting that type of gas in that type of car? Now, see, I should have mind my business, right? No, you try to help sister out. Because, women tend to get told stupid stuff when it comes to cars. Now, as much things I've been dealing with that Kia and things in general, sometimes you don't always rely on a man to come to your rescue or thinking that they know everything, because they don't. They don't. And have them, and you already know my experience with that last mechanic with the catalytic converter for my Corolla, with his BS. So I overheard her say about, he told her about use the other graded grass. And I can't use that. I took the mechanic, my engine keep knocking. I already knew that Kia is owned by Hyundai. And they had a recall on their engines about this knock in this engine. So when I heard her say that, I go outside, to whatever. They sipping on fire. So this one young girl, she had a baby in the car, and she gave me $20, and she wanted me to go in the store and reset the pump for $10 because she didn't want to leave the baby in the car. And I understood. I said, okay, there's no problem. So I took the $20, went in there, and said, can you give $10 on that pump? And I gave them $20, got the $10 cash, gave the girl the receipt, and I was chit-chatting with her a little bit. And she had done Uber and Lyft. And I asked her, how long you been doing Uber and Lyft? She said, just a couple of months and this and that or whatever. So the lady who was moving from pump to pump to pump to pump to get gas, I told her, I said, excuse me, can I tell you something? I said, you're not supposed to put that type of grade of gas on a 4-cylinder for that Hyundai. Mind your fucking business. Woo-oo. I said, okay. Fine. You know what? You right. You right. I would mind my business. I don't give a damn. I don't pay your car note. I said, she come cursing at me. And I went to, then I went back inside to the store clerk. Then I'm in front of him. No, I had already got the money and went inside to pay for the other girl's gas. And she gave me the money because the baby was sleeping in the car. So she didn't want to leave. Hey, Lynn. She didn't want to leave to, go and get gas. Why pump gas? Not in that neighborhood. And I said, I understand, girl. I said, you don't want to. I said, I understand. You don't leave no baby in the car for even 2 seconds in this neighborhood. Bums walking around, people begging and stuff, So, and she was a young girl. So, exactly. So then this bitch come inside. I'm in the front paying the other lady's gas of the money she gave me. People ain't mind their fucking business, and I paid a fucking car note. Fuck you. I said, excuse me. I said, you right. It ain't my business. I don't give a fuck about your damn car. And I'm just trying to tell you something. And then, and then after that, I said, you know what? You better get out of my face. You get out of my face. At this point, you ain't need to say nothing more. I should have mind my business. So I got in my car, gave the little her change, the little girl, the young girl, to change her money in her receipt. Went back to my car. Then she coming up walking to my car. Excuse me. First of all, I was like, I know this bitch ain't coming up to me. Then I rolled down the window. Yes. Well, I just want to apologize because I shouldn't speak to my elders like that. Bitch, I'm not your elder. I didn't say that. But I'm looking at her like, I know this bitch ain't trying to say disrespecting your elders, and that bitch look older than me. Black ass, look old in the face, run down in the face. Just because you see gray in my hair, don't call me I'm your elder. You talk about I just want to pop. And I said, okay. I said, that's fine. I said, you know what? And I told her, I said, see, that's what's wrong with black women, is that in black people, it's like when someone trying to help you and tell you something, you just don't go off on someone cursing and carrying on. And I told her, I said, I have a sports car. My Kia is a sports car. And I said, that's a 4-cylinder. And I said, the knocking in the engine, you need to take the car back to the dealership because it's a recall. She claimed she knew. She said, I know. She didn't know. She didn't know that. She did not know that about that recall on the Kias and the Hondas and the engine with the knock. And the car she had was the one that had the issue. But no, she trying to curse me out. But she apologized. And I said that, as women, we need to protect ourselves and help each other, especially when it comes to cars. Don't always think someone's trying to, tell you what to do, because number one, she couldn't possibly had no mechanic should have ever told her you need to put a high octane gas in that type of car on a 4-cylinder on a Hyundai. It ain't gonna do nothing, but that was not her problem. She just listened to somebody, they didn't know what the hell. But she apologized. So that was my day. That was my day. 3 incidents happened with other people carrying on, acting like a fool. So, but anyway, back to my topic. So yesterday, which was the 17th, it was tax day. Now, why I say tax day is because it was time to pay your quarterly estimated taxes. The quarterly estimated taxes is due June 17th. The next payment is due September 17th. So next time in September, I'm going to illustrate that. Now, I've been watching a lot of videos and hear a lot of people say the same thing over and over again about saving their money and putting it aside into a savings account. And then when April next year come around, they pay their taxes. No. Now, let me see if I can share my screen, and I'm going to go to the irs.gov website. So hold on for a moment, y'all. Let's see. Let me see. What's that thing that way it's supposed to share the screen? Oh man, I know what it is. I'm supposed to do this on a one of those softwares where it allows you to view the video. Let me see. Let me see what this is. Can y'all see another screen next to it, like a blue? Can y'all see another screen? Tell me. When y'all saw me go into, did y'all see the screen split into two? Hey, Lynn, I know Lynn be paying attention. Tell me if you see that screen, another screen, because I need to show side by side. Okay, you know what? I know what it was. It had another program where you could do sharing a screen. I'm not doing it right because it's not on this. It's not on this live stream where you could share your screen. No, you're not gonna see it because it's not gonna work because it's not this type of it's not that type of system. All right, so let me just talk about it, and then when I finally get to a point where I could have a video program or whatever, I can make more better videos. But this is the bitch. Let me show y'all real quick. This is the bitch that y'all can see. After that, she said, "You're gonna take out your phone and film it." She wanted me to take her picture, and this is her. Oh, she look better than most of the ones I be seeing along the street. Mm-hmm. I know, Shelly. I got your email and your Vic. No, you ain't gonna want to see that, ratchet. Anyway, so let me tell you about it. Now, one of the points that I want to make about it is, with the estimated taxes, you're supposed to pay quarterly, and you could go to the IRS.gov website, and when you go to IRS.gov, there's a tab that says "Pay Your Taxes." Now, when you pay your taxes, you can pay many ways. You can pay to the mail a check, a money order, and put 10 Internal Revenue Service. Put your tax ID number or your Social Security number, and then you put estimated tax payment. You could pay online at IRS.gov, and you could pay through this payment system, which is called EFTPS. It stands for Electronic Federal Tax Payment System. Or you could pay on the phone through any of the third-party companies that they use to make a payment. Now, you say, well, Teresa, how much I know I'm supposed to pay? How much I'm supposed to pay each month or each quarter? You're supposed to pay from what you filed from last year. So, say for instance, your taxes last year, or even this year, was $7,000 tax, where it has the tax, it has taxable income, and it shows what portion of the taxes you pay. Say that amount was $7,000. No, let's say $6,000. You're supposed to divide that by 4, and you make equal quarterly payments every quarter. You don't pay your taxes when next year comes, and then you pay it. A tax system is a pay-as-you-go system. Just like when you work at a job, they take out your taxes through withholdings based on when you fill out your W-4. So your company that you work for takes out the taxes, the state as well as FICA and Social Security, Medicare, and everything else. When you're self-employed, on the other hand, you're supposed to already have a correct tax withholdings from your regular job to account for your taxes on your 1099 income. Now, this is really important for those who work full time, who works those gig jobs full time. Most of your incomes come from that source of income. If your taxes is $6,000, I'm not talking about the deductions to lower your tax. You're supposed to pay the first 100% of the tax, or $6,000 divided by 4 in equal installment payments. Now, there are many apps out there like Stride Tax that will help you figure out what your estimated taxes are. But that's just an estimate. That's not really an accurate amount when they figure it out. But let me go here. I'm gonna go. Let me see. Yeah, y'all can't see that. Dang it. In my drive. Wait a minute. Okay. Estimated taxes. It's an estimate, so it's not the exact. It's not you know, it's like about 30% after you subtract your deductions and your self-employment tax. Now, let's say for instance, because you don't want to get surprised. Let's say I'm gonna put let's put $1,200, and I did $1,200 during the week. According to Stride, it says I'm supposed to set aside $360 of that $1,200 in estimated taxes. That doesn't include for the deductions or anything else. So what you do is that you put that in a separate account if you could separate it or whatever. And yesterday, if you made that amount of money, you were supposed to pay $360 yesterday. Now, we all know that most of us would probably pay more than that, and make more money than that. But I'm just giving a example because most of the time, income of about 50,000 plus a year is approximately 7,000 bucks worth of taxes. So if you did not pay your taxes yesterday online or mailed it or whatever, next quarter, which is September, you want to pay that. Do not say I'll wait to pay next year April. No. Nope. Now, there's a withholdings calculator on the irs.gov website. And there's also a tax center, which is for self-employed tax center. It provides valuable resources and information for those in the gig economy. And you have to realize the gig economy of how we know it, Uber and Lyft and Instacart, that's kind of new. That's very new for the government and for the IRS. And what I mean by new is it's a new concept of economy of people making money in this type of way. 20 years ago, or even 15 years ago for that matter, or even 10 if you really want to think about it. 10 years ago, they didn't have Uber. Well, at least I don't think they did. They didn't have Uber. They didn't have all these type of apps. It wasn't around. Now, Amazon, they came out in that .com boom age, year 2000. There was some companies, because there used to be a company that used to do grocery delivery. I think it was Van. It used to be another company. I can't remember the name of it. They used to do grocery deliveries, and they went under. They didn't survive too well because the advancement in technology wasn't there yet. They didn't have no apps. They didn't have the apps where you could just order and do whatever. You know, they didn't have that. But as technology advances and you know, things started being more advanced of how people could order food, groceries, and whatever on the app, it became available, and it grew a new industry. It developed a new source of income to people to work for themselves on the app, in the government, in labor laws. It's antiquated. It was not yet, the labor laws that we know it has not been updated to accommodate about who's a employee versus independent contractor. Now, let me tell you what's going to happen. Now that California has given Uber options to be an employee versus being in 1099 um, 1099 or self-employed, it's going to be a bad situation with that. In my opinion, all the stipulations, all the rules, all the way how they handle drivers and pay and tips, that's you work as an employee. A lot of people is not gonna argue. A lot of people's gonna disagree with me. No, you're self-employed. No, you're not. You may think you're self-employed because you using your own car, but who's to give them right? Uber and all these companies, they telling you all these stipulations and rules on how to conduct your own business in your own vehicle. They're not paying you anything, you know. So a lot of people they talk about the freedom of making money on apps and things of that nature, but yet they still treating you as employees. There's no bargaining in the negotiations and the pay, you know. All this going back and forth, marching up and down, and talking about um, we need benefits and we need more pay and we need a rate increase. I knew it wasn't going to happen. And for California to put it out there and say, okay, you know what? You're not 1099. You are W-2. And it has nothing to do with the rights. They don't give a right but about drivers, delivery drivers, and whatever else. These companies, they're getting over. Let me tell you how they're getting over. They're getting over is because, one, they're not paying any corporate income tax. That's number one. Number two, as long as it's a app and they saying we are a technology company, because Uber ain't the only one. All of them say that. All of them operate in that matter. So they could easily operate their company in Ireland and all these other new from Taj Time. Day one, 30-day Let's Move challenge by Chrissy P. I'm about to move in a minute because I'm about to go to the gym and go into the pool. So all these companies making doing all these apps, making billions of dollars and not paying corporate income tax and not giving workers comp and all these other type of things, and incidents happen. Drivers get attacked, you doing deliveries, groceries, you fall on the ground, come on. So in California, when they decided to say, okay, we're going to now treat you as employees, and pay a wage, I'm curious to see what's going to happen. That's going to go all across the board. Let me tell you, that's going to go all across the board. And let me tell you the reason why. The reason why is because as more and more people or more and more people working 1099 or independent contractors for these companies, the Department of Treasury or the U.S. government is not collecting taxes. And they're going to realize that, I assure you, remember this video 2, 3 years from now or 4 years from now, when they run those numbers for all the 1099 tax returns and all these tax returns where people were being paid, and they're going to say, wait a minute, we haven't been getting the estimated taxes on quarterly for, let's say, 50 million people. And they're going to say it's trillions of dollars of taxes that's unaccounted for estimated quarterly tax. And when they run those numbers, and I already wrote that in my blog from 2 years ago. I think I wrote that in my blog. If you go to go to 1099taxes.wordpress.com. I wrote an article on that. I wrote it. Now, those were figures from the New York Times from about 3 years ago, but it's going to be way more. So they're not collecting the taxes. They're not collecting the estimated taxes. And if you think that you could continue to write off 70, 80% of the money, a lot of people say, I got to pay wear and tear. I got to do the mileage. You don't deduct all that mileage is not deductible. All those expenses you pay is not deductible. It is a percentage. It's not 100%. For one thing, they're not going to allow 100% off write-offs to negate your taxes down to zero. And the fact that the matter is that these economy is turning into a gig economy. There's no tax revenue coming into the government. And when there's no revenue coming into the government, they're going to say, one thing, what is he going to do? We're going to have to change the tax laws. So when California changes those people to W-2, that's the state income. It also affects the state, because a lot of people like to talk about federal, but they forgot about the state. You also pay state income taxes unless you live in Florida or Tennessee. No, Florida, Arizona. No, Florida, Nevada. It's another state. Well, anyway, I can't think of it right now. But it's like Texas. Yep, that's it. Texas, Florida, Arizona, or Nevada. One of those two. Maybe both. I know it's Nevada for sure. You don't pay state income tax. But I could assure you, those states that don't have state income tax, you paying high amount of something. You may not pay state income tax, but I can assure you, something's expensive. So if 65% of the economy is gig workers or gig economy workers, and they're not paying those quarterly estimated taxes from those type of new economy, don't be surprised for those who work full time, including myself. I can't say including myself because I've always worked a part-time job or W-2 somewhere, and I don't really work a lot of 1099 gig jobs. I didn't make a lot of money doing it, and I know what the tax rate was. That's why I never paid quarterly estimated taxes, because my regular job had pretty much paid into the taxes, because I already could gauge from looking at my W-2. I said, okay, I'm gonna pay my taxes at the percentage that I'm supposed to. And I didn't really work a lot of, even when I was doing Grubhub and all those companies, I didn't work a lot of, I wasn't making no thousands and thousands of weeks, never. I may have made $600-700, but I never made to the amount where I knew I had to pay. And trust me, if I had to pay, I know. And I will be making my payments probably this week, because I didn't have the money to pay it yesterday. So I want to pay my taxes Friday. Yeah, I'm going to pay it Friday. And then I didn't file my tax return this year. So the refund from my return is going to be paid towards the quarterly estimated tax. So that's another way how you can pay your quarterly estimated taxes. When you file your tax return every year, the very last line, it says refund or apply your estimated taxes. You better off applying your estimated taxes of your tax return refund for the quarter. Now, unfortunately, I didn't have the software to share my screen because I wanted to show y'all um, how to do it, but ugh, I'm going to have to. What do you mean no? Lynn, what you talking about? Oh man, my computer's frozen. I can't. Oh, I can't see what you're saying. I see you, Prissy. Day one, 30-day Let's Move Challenge by Prissy P. No, I didn't show it because I don't have the this thing control panel. Hey, purpose for me. I ain't gonna stay here too long, y'all. So I'm going to the gym because I need to. I hope I got my dang top bathing suit. Let me see. Because when I went to the gym the other day, I had the top, but I didn't have the bottom, and then I had took it out the washer and put the bottom, but then I couldn't find the top. So I was like, I hope I left the top in the car. But if not, I'm gonna put on my bathing suit at the bottom, and then I'm gonna put the hey, Shelly, talk to you later. Yeah, so yesterday was tax day for quarterly estimated taxes, but it's gonna be very interesting as the years go by. I could tell you that. And California is always the first state to do something. Anything happen in California, it filters down to the other states. You know, and I think it's don't be surprised and shocked. New York's gonna be the next one that's gonna do it too. They're gonna say, okay, we all not employees, y'all not 1099, y'all gonna be employees. And I think we got too confused, and I think we get a little bit too sensitive to think about the freedom of working when you want and working without a boss. I mean, to be honest, if that was the only two things in, that's inhibiting to a lot of people, is think that you're not answering to a boss and you got the freedom. That might be true to some extent, but all the algorithms that they have in place, um, you are working your schedule. It's like you can work if you want, but if you don't, then you're gonna be ass out, no money, broke. You know, so it's like, what is there to do? You work 40 hours to make a good, decent amount of money 3 years ago. 40 hours, you could make a good, decent amount. Now, you got to work 70, 80 hours just to get, a little few $100s more. I don't care what anyone say. It's not oversaturated. Please stop saying that too. The market's oversaturated. We got too many drivers. No, it ain't. It ain't that oversaturated because it ain't that many people who be working like that. You know, it ain't like every single person is working um, around the same time. And it ain't that many people who probably work full time. You just got. If you think that these companies don't know how many people they sign up for or who's signed, they know. They know exactly what they're doing. So I don't think it's about oversaturated and all that. No, it ain't oversaturation to me. It's just the rates and what they pay, and when they, because if anything, when you think about it, let's take Atlanta for instance. Atlanta, Uber and Lyft and the food apps was only in small concentration of Atlanta, downtown, Virginia Highlands, the more affluent area where people had disposable income. It was only available in that market. So everybody who lived in Stone Mountain, whether you live east, west, north, south, everybody had to go and do the food deliveries by going down to Virginia Highlands, North Drew Hills area. They had to go in town in order to get the orders because it wasn't expanding to Stone Mountain. It didn't expand out in the suburbs. It didn't expand way out. It covered a wide area. And you can think about that same place where you live. When you think about where did it start, it wasn't, people were making money because it was in a small area. The rates were way much higher. And the people who were doing it, everybody, it was popular when it was in its infancy. They still had, it was growing. And the fact that it was growing, you didn't have to take as many orders to make some money. I remember when Uber Eats, hello.
Would you by chance want a free ice cream cone? Paid extra.
Sure.
Yep.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Enjoy.
Look what I got you. I got ice cream. Look at that. I could be going to the damn gym. By the time I got something free from Chick-fil-A, you know what? They owe me a free cookie. They're going to abuse the drivers, send certain drivers all the good tips, and punish those who don't pay favor. Yeah, that's true. That is so true. So when California changed over to W-2, they're going to purge a whole lot of drivers out of the system. All of them. Most of them, put it that way. And let me tell you, unless you plan on buying a new car, and you don't have a certain kind of car, they're gonna be like, "Well, nope, it's too much. There's too much stipulations that's gonna happen with that." So when they change over from to employees, and they say they're gonna pay. And the thing about it, they're not even gonna send you about what's gonna be good tips. They're gonna pay you an hourly wage, and then you're gonna have to pay. You keep whatever tips you got. But see, people forgot there is a law, a tax law about the tips. Technically, and the companies have not been doing this. Companies supposed to supposed to keep a certain percentage or report a certain percentage of tips that a person gets for every hour they work. So for every hour, like let me give you an example because I had applied for a job at Pizza Hut to be a driver, and they told me for every hour that you worked and doing deliveries, they was going to take $2.12 per hour for the tips. You keep your tips, but for every hour it's $2.12. And I almost forgot about companies were supposed to pay that. We're supposed to be doing that, at least for the last couple of years. I'm sorry, I'm eating this ice cream like this. And so at restaurants, when the waiter clocks in, even though they're getting paid the tips, they're supposed to withhold the $2.12 per hour for the tips. All companies that pays tips were supposed to be doing that. Some of them haven't. Most of them haven't. So, I'm sorry, I'm gonna be talking. He gave me his ice. Usually, I don't too much care for Chick-fil-A ice cream because I used to thought it was very made out of thick cream, but But I don't. Why they always make it cold? Every time it gets around 8:45, they turn down the air conditioner to freeze it. This make no damn sense. Well, tell me if y'all have any questions. Put the questions down so I can see. Oh man, my computer's frozen. I'm gonna have to keep talking, but I can't. I got an email from Deliv. They're going to do employee drivers in California. What? See? So it's not just Uber and Lyft that's going to be doing it. It's all the ride sharing gigs are doing it. And let me tell you, Deliv, they can't afford to do that. So I'm gonna tell you what they're gonna do. Deliv is just gonna purge all those other people out. They ain't got business like that. They're not gonna be able to do it. And unless they pay me $15 an hour in Georgia to be an employee and or do something with the miles or something. Mm. Oh, you mean telling us all to get out of how? In terms of being cold in this dang place, then they're going to steal and invade your privacy. Put trackers on your car and phone all your time of the day stalking you. Run up expenses just for you to qualify. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, purpose. Exactly. They're gonna put all these stipulations, and a lot of people are gonna be mad and pissed off, and they ain't gonna know what they're gonna do. So it's curious to see what's gonna happen now. And then when you get these little stupid pissy orders where people ain't gonna tip and drive you all over the world from here to there and all around the place, and then the minute you don't do it, they're gonna be like, nope, nope. So I don't know. I guess technically they probably paying you the way that employees would be paid anyway. That's why they ain't gonna increase no rates. See, that's like McDonald's and these fast food places. They were up and down, protesting. We want $15 minimum wage. We want $15. We want $15. They said, okay, y'all want $15 an hour for minimum wage? We'll fix y'all. What they turned around and do. McDonald's and all these places put these automated touchscreen ordering, giving out the bag of food. Same thing with Kroger's and the supermarkets. Same thing with them. We want we want full-time minimum wage of $15, $16 an hour. Now what they do, everything is automated. You go to Walmart, you go to Kroger's. The only one that's not as bad is Publix. Now you go into the supermarkets. It's a touch screen. Everything is automated. You just put in a bag. You doing everything yourself. Everything. They ain't got no cashier. They ain't got nobody around to help you. You be walking around looking in the store, looking around, looking for something. Nobody in sight. Because people screamed about minimum wage. They wanted this. So they said, you know what? We're gonna combat that. We don't have to pay a computer minimum wage. We're gonna have a computer running 24/7 to do something that people used to do. You know? So sometimes when you always want something and you want fairness or equity, these companies are always going to find a way to not pay. And that's what they did in California. It's okay. Y'all going to be employees, but what's the expense of it? But I'm gonna tell you, that's not the real reason. The real reason is we losing money, we losing revenue, we're not getting any money taxes from the income, but paying independent contractors, and therefore, how are we gonna collect the taxes? We're gonna make them employees and then let the employees take out the taxes and and move on. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. And if you think the Department of Treasury does not know that they're losing when they get into the trillions of dollars of unpaid taxes, of estimated taxes, and how much they're not getting that money from it, and they're gonna say, "Wait a minute, they misclassified independent contractors. We're not getting no money." 60% of the workforce, or 65% or higher, as the years go by, is 1099. They're not collecting taxes. How are you going to collect the taxes on that? You're not going to leave the responsibility of the person to pay it, because they're not going to pay it. They're not going to pay it. The government has already shrunk. The IRS has already shrunk this workforce. Most people are due to retire, or they're getting rid of people for stupid stuff, and everything is automated. You know, so by them not collecting the tax, and by people are not going to pay the estimated taxes, they're gonna be some changes in the labor laws. In 1099, they're gonna say, okay, well, um, we're gonna give the tax breaks and stuff if you hire employees and you start hiring people. Then it's going to make it look better for the company. It makes better for them, because the more people they could hire. See, Uber, they know that. You think these I should have been a tax attorney. I should have been a business attorney. My mother said, you should have went to law school, and I should have went to law school. But you know that it's always going to benefit a company or organization. The more they hire people, the more the numbers look good for unemployment. So Uber has whatever number of drivers out there. I don't know, millions of people. If Uber was this, as the states changes over, it's going to be New York next. I'm going to tell y'all. California do something, New York be the next one. So New York going to be the next state. I'm sure you're that. New York going to be the next one. Or it may be Massachusetts. Miss Lynn. Massachusetts tend to be a very liberal state too. So, but I do believe it's going to be Massachusetts, New York. Um, let me see who else is Yeah, it's gonna be those. It's gonna be that. It's gonna progress. It's gonna sweep over to other states. So for those who think that I told you that stores here have robots that goes around county and notify staff of spills and problems on the floor. Yeah, I believe it. I do believe it. When I finish my ice cream, y'all, I'm gonna go to the gym. So I'm gonna lick this a little bit more. I should have told that lady that it's cold in here. Turn up that dang air conditioner. Got it all freezing in here. But anyway, I hope I didn't be long-winded with the estimated tax payment explanation. But just go ahead and direct any questions to me. If you have a personal question, just send me an email. tsmallwood68@gmail.com. And I'll respond to y'all back to your questions. Yep. But at least in Massachusetts, I think it's a little better compared to how they treat employees and stuff. In my opinion, that's what I always read. You ain't got no questions? Oh, did I tell y'all that this Chick-fil-A where I'm at, which is closer up the street from my house, they start doing deliveries too? It's not that one little Chick-fil-A that I went to a couple weeks ago. Now it's expanded to this Chick-fil-A here on 78 in Stone Mountain. So I thought it's gonna take a minute for Chick-fil-A to wait till they do the other stores, but shoot, that thing came in 2 weeks later. So I'm gonna give it another 6 months to a year. Chick-fil-A is gonna probably not do DoorDash anymore. I don't think they're gonna do DoorDash anymore.
It was so weird. It was so weird. This 180 I've ever seen in my life. Then you like randomly mess.
Oh, it's so cold in here. Makes no damn sense. Now, if I had ordered food like fries, the thing would have been cold.
That interaction would never happen. Like, I had an opportunity.
He walking around with that tray looking for the person who got the food.
Interaction and like, it's like incredible. Because I was like, yeah.
Somebody ordered fries and then they even got shoot, I should tell that was mine. That's my fries. Oh well. Yeah, so I'm trying to look for a regular job now. I mean, I still have my part-time job at Crossmart, but I'm getting bored from that. I'm getting bored from it. It's like I work. Not at a, I don't work really hard, but I mean that little part-time job and driving, checking candies and giving free candies and all that stuff. It's getting a little bit boring. And then every time I turn around, somebody want to fight at the store. Act niggerish at the store, and act stupid. And I'm like, I can't deal with that no more. I thought it was okay for a while, but it's getting a little bit too much tedious. Ooh, my stomach's starting to hurt eating this ice cream. I'm throw this ice cream out. I'll be back, y'all. I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave in a couple minutes, so when you be back. I'll be back.
You just feel good. Because it's like I said, it's that being at peace. Like if I wasn't at peace myself, like I either wouldn't have responded, I would have purposely not responded. Or I would.
That's for the yeah. And then you can also pull the shades up.
I'm so about to say hi.
Yeah, I just try to make it the same height. Not really matter, but
Right.
Hey, y'all, I'm back. Guess who? Crow Man. You see Crow Man 13? He walked up in Chick-fil-A. I looked over across the counter. I said, hey, I know him. I had to apologize to Crow Man 13 because I had accused him of talking behind my back at that nasty Blitz Wings further up the road from my house. And I said, no, it wasn't you. It was the other guy. So I saw him in here. I looked. I said, hey, I know that guy. He might be subscribers. So that's why he wrote Teresa at the counter, because I went up to the counter and he didn't want to show his face. I said, come on, show your face. He said, no, I want to do that. You know, he already showed his face in the thumbnail. He didn't want to show his face on the thing. Okay, it's cold in here, and I'm about to go to the gym. It's 9:12. Hey, Ruthie. Oh, now you decide to watch, huh? Yeah, he gonna look on live stream. You better help her deliver that food. You was standing, held you back for a couple of minutes. So, wait a minute, you already got your food. You ought to go and deliver that Chick-fil-A. Hopefully you got a good tip out of that. Hey, Ruthie, what you up to? I had just got through telling my story earlier, what happened with the ratchetness today at my part-time job when I was going to the convenience stores. Okay, I'm going to call him for 5 more minutes, and then I'm going to have to go to the gym. But delivering it, so when you are in Stone Mountain, You mean delivering to someone in Stone Mountain? You was already in Stone Mountain. You know the Chick-fil-A that you just left is Stone Mountain. It's a matter of how much tip you're gonna get. That's the question. Ain't no way. I wonder how much that Chick-fil-A costs. How much did that Chick-fil-A cost that DoorDash delivered? How much did they charge? Crow man, because I'm curious. Not that I would ever order it, that's for sure. Just taking it one day at a time. Well, that's good. Well, I'm still working my different apps, so it's kind of slowing down a little bit with those apps. So I gotta find me some new gigs to do. Sometimes the zone is tricky when you would end up in Lilburn. You must don't know too much about the area, do you, Crow Man? Lilburn is only up the street. You go straight up 78, then you turn on that Rockbridge Road. That's Lilburn. That's only not even a mile. If you go the opposite direction and you go 3 miles, maybe four the most, that's Snellville. Have you watched your Jermaine Ellis video about Uber changing from independent? Yeah, I just talked about that, Ruthie, in California. But that been said on I've been heard that. I didn't even hear it. Where I heard that from? I think I read it somewhere. Yeah, I've been heard that on a couple other people's videos. I don't know why Jermaine mentioning it. He's supposed to be in all the other foreign countries somewhere. But I don't know why I don't know why that's a shock. I don't know why people are shocked. California has always been progressive about labor laws and things like that. So I wasn't surprised. But like I told people, the only reason why they going to the only reason why they're doing that is because you need to generate revenue. That's all. That's all that is. It's about money. It ain't about no damn equity and paying drivers fairly. It's not that. They want you to think that, but it ain't. The state of California, shoot, they need as much money as they could get. So of course they're gonna be employees because they could collect the taxes. And Uber ain't no telling what they're gonna pay their drivers. And that's a way for them to get rid of people. They don't need all those drivers. They know when they losing market. Lindbergh, not that Lindbergh. Parts of Annistown is no, Annistown Road is Centerville, which is Snellville. Well, Annistown Road is really parts of Annistown Road is Centerville Highway. Centerville rather, not highway. Centerville. Okay. Yeah, Lilburn. Part of it is Lilburn, but part of that really is it just depends where you're coming from. You could be in Stone Mountain, Stone Mountain is right before you pass that park. When you go down north to Sean, the minute you turn on north to Sean, that's Stone Mountain. So I live in Stone Mountain, which is the other side of that line. And then if you go near that nasty McDonald's and that nasty Blitz Wings place, which changed management, I drove over there. I saw that they had new management. Um, Part of that is Lithonia, that's it. And then, Lithonia, of course, is known as City of Stonecrest. They breaking up the whole county. That's all I know. That's all I know. They break up counties and breaking up in pieces. One moment you in DeKalb, 1 minute you in Gwinnett, the second you in Uber Eats on their delivery is so high. They charge you a small fee order. They need to be putting down tips, worrying about some damn delivery fee. But I don't do Uber Eats, I don't do Grubhub, I don't do Zifty, I don't do none of those food apps anymore. None of them. Zero. Zilch. So I've been making my money in doing field agent and observer and some of those other merchandising type of gig jobs. And, as I go about places, I do little jobs like that. But I'm still looking for another job. I'm going to keep my part-time job for now, but I'm still looking for another part-time job. So I took an assessment with State Farm today. That's why I'm doing my laptop. So, but I ain't going to hold my breath with State Farm because I keep interviewing with them and then I keep getting this, well, we found someone more suitable. So I don't want to I ain't wasting my time with them. And then there's this other company, they're looking for part-time Hancock adjusters. They're like the ones who handle those major disasters when there's major disasters and stuff happen. They looking for, and it's in Alpharetta. So I applied for them and they emailed me again. So, but like I was telling Crowman 13, I was thinking about going back to school to get a certificate so I could upgrade my skills. So I wanted to go to Gwinnett Tech for cybersecurity because they said they had like 99.99% success graduate rate in terms of job placements, and a lot of big companies go to Gwinnett to hire a lot of employees in their different high demand programs. Okay, 5 of y'all left. How long I've been on here an hour and a half. I supposed to be going to the gym, sitting here playing with y'all. But I enjoy talking to y'all. All right, I need to talk about some more topics since I can't talk about food delivery experiences anymore. But I could report about the different trends that I believe is going to happen with these food apps. And I do believe it's going to be some. I do believe it's going to be some major changes. And once California changes the game, this is going to be something. That's all I know. So right now, it's better to prepare yourself. If you're still young at heart, you're still in your 20s, 30s, it's time to really start exploring and start going into those new technology field jobs. Even jobs that are like mechanical that requires use of your hands. You don't have to go to no regular 4-year college degree and all that. I think that's just played out. It's played out. And then in terms of I'm trying to go to a trade school, I'm trying to work exactly, Ruthie. But you know what? Send me an email. Or better yet, send me your email. Send me an email with your phone number. We could talk. I want to talk to you face to face. So send me a message if you can. tsmallwood68@gmail.com. Because I was reading something yesterday in the newspaper, It was saying that so many people were not going to college and universities because it was so expensive. And trust me, I know because I got student loans to prove it. They were saying a lot of these schools had unclaimed scholarships because people are not going to school, and these colleges and universities, there was a lot of money in scholarships that goes unclaimed. A lot of money. So I'm going to apply to Gwinnett Tech. I've decided I'm not going to get another degree. I'm going to go and get a certification or certificate or something, because I don't need to get another degree, especially if it's like an associate, because a lot of them, you have to take core classes, and I already took core courses, English, math, and all that. I don't need to take that again. So I think if you, especially for women, it's like so in Black women, it's like we don't show the presence in those type of industries, in that type of field. And to me, I'm 50 years old. I still got another 18, 20 years of working life to contribute, So, and then someone was telling me about medical billing and coding. I thought about that, but I said, yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do medical billing and coding. I don't want to do nursing. I don't want to do child care, health care. I don't want to do nothing like that. I did consider like part-time, when the fall comes. I was thinking about being a substitute teacher. You get about $120, $110 a day. And I could still do that as a, extra income, when they need you to be a substitute teacher. Because they said they need a lot of substitute teachers and bus drivers. That's another thing, bus drivers. I don't want to drive no bus. That's too much. A bunch of kids. And then you could be a school bus monitor. I'll do that. But they, you have to start thinking out the box. All these gig jobs running around, ungrateful people with the food, groceries, and everything else. They get tired after a while. Your car gets run down to the ground. So there's a whole lot of stuff. There's a whole lot of ways to make extra money. I know a lot of people say, I want freedom. I want the freedom to do what I want and the freedom. But, ain't no freedom in no gig jobs, especially with those type of apps. It ain't no freedom. Because, you have to worry about being deactivated at any time over foolishness. Someone could lie and say something, and next thing you know, your account needs attention. That's too much. And you can sign up for multiple apps if you want. But then I heard something about Grubhub is going to be merged. But I heard that 2 years ago. They were supposed to merge. No, it wasn't Grubhub. It was Postmates and DoorDash was supposed to merge one time. And I don't know what happened. I guess they got more money. But there was a whole bunch of these apps were supposed to merge and consolidate and all that kind of crap. So it's not surprising if that happens. Oh, let me tell you what happened with Amazon Flex. If no one hasn't said nothing about it, Amazon Flex no longer do Amazon restaurants. As of a couple more weeks, Amazon restaurants is no longer. They were trying to, they never launched, the market never launched. They never promoted their Amazon restaurants and all these restaurants. So they're not going to be doing it anymore. Now, I don't know if it's across the country, but I know in Atlanta, there's no more Amazon restaurants. Because if you had Amazon Prime, you could order food to these restaurants. And it was free, but nobody took advantage of it. Amazon didn't even promote it like that. Amazon had all these things going on they had to do. June 24th. In a couple more weeks. What is that, next week? Nope, no more Amazon restaurants. And the minute I started saying, ooh, I still got an Amazon app. I could still work with them. And I was going to do restaurants. And the minute I decided to do it, here they come. They no longer do Amazon restaurants. So, oh well, ain't no skin on my nose. I'm still not doing no packages. I know that. That's one thing I'm not going to do. Now I may do it. I may change my mind. Maybe in the fall or something. But that Corolla ain't gonna hold all those boxes. So I'm not gonna be. I doubt that I'll do. You did 2 restaurants. Yeah, you don't even get that many orders. And the thing about it, Amazon restaurants was paying the highest out of all of them. You could be going 2 blocks up the street, they'll pay you $14 just like that. It was a range, $14 to $26. And you weren't even going anywhere. You know, I think I never saw nothing lower. I never saw nothing lower than $12 with Amazon restaurants when I did do a couple of them. But I didn't get that many orders. And that was the bad thing. I was like so upset when they said they weren't gonna do it no more. I was like, what? I said now they could have got rid of damn Postmates. I couldn't care less about Postmates. I could care less about DoorDash, folks, to be honest. I give a damn about Uber Eats. And all the other ones, but Amazon restaurants, yep, that's right. Crowman, it used to be $9 and up. But the one I had, it used to be 11, 12. The minimum, was around that price. I don't think I remember seeing 9, but I do remember it was at least 11. If it was $9, it might have been literally like not even a mile. It was like you weren't going nowhere, and you'd be like, "Dang, this person could have picked up this food." That it was that. It was real low. Oh, I know why it was higher because I used to get that rest. I used to get it when it was peak time. That's why I got a lot. It was during peak. It would be like 5:30 in the afternoon. Yeah, they didn't promote it right. They did not promote it. They did. They hardly did not promote it. I think if they had promoted it the right way, I think it would have surpassed any of them. But then at the same time, it would have been everybody would have been jumping to do restaurants, and nobody wouldn't want to do packages. But Amazon they quick to let you go though. They quick. That's why I didn't do them hardly. I did not hardly do Amazon like that because they were quick to deactivate. Man, I ain't gonna bother. They could keep those 6 days. They could keep that 6 days. But I know one thing, you turn on that app for Amazon, they have everlasting got packages though. And at one point it used to go like this. Now you turn on that app, that thing stays on that phone for a good 10 minutes before you decide to hit decline. It'll stay on there forever. One point people used to grab those blocks and shifts. Now you can't even get nobody to even bother to do it. All right, it's 9:32 and the gym closed at 11. I could at least get a good 10. Yeah, I could get 10 done. Let me go. I'm gonna get at least a few laps in. Well, I don't swim like this, but I just run in the water with some weights. Packages. It still ain't worth no 3 hours. $70 for 3 hours. That was good, but I tell you, they giving you a bunch of boxes, and you going over the state of Georgia. That they used to have you all over the place. No, no. The only way how when I wait till the fall, because when the fall come, they tend to summon you out there, and sometimes they don't have any packages, and they still pay you. Oh, goodness. Wait a minute. You know, I don't know why they put this damn cord all behind the seat where it makes it so hard to get it out. All right. Okay, y'all. I gotta go. So Ruthie, Crowman, Lynn, Michelle, Purpose for me. Who else I'm missing? Dorian, if you on here. Fee Art. Y'all have a good night. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if I miss you, excuse me for missing you. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. I'm going to close my laptop. My laptop already stuck. I can't figure out what's wrong with it. So, hey, Lynn, you have a good night. Oh, y'all have a good night. Let me go to this pool real quick so I can get some kind of form of exercise done. All right, talk to y'all later. Thanks. I will. Bye.